Hi, I'm Norman Perillo, a furniture designer maker at Perillo Design and a woodworking educator author at WoodSkills. And today I'd like to talk about a new portable tool case I'll be building over the next week or two. So I'll show you an upcoming image of the actual tool case, and it's a tool case that originates from a Yeung Chan design. I had taken a furniture-related course with Yeung Chan about exactly 20 years ago at a furniture making school, a local furniture making school, and I was completely in awe of this portable tool case he brought along from San Francisco, and he traveled with it to teach and had the tools he used the most in his hand tool woodworking. Hand planes, saws, chisels mostly, and some measuring and layout tools. So I was in awe of it, and I told myself I'd like to perhaps build one day, and that time has come. I'm going to be going through all the steps in my build, and not too much detail, but an overview initially, and then all the subsequent steps on building it, and I'll show the first part of the possibly three-part series, and I'll be talking about how I laid out the tools and how it's critical to lay out the tools for your own, the tools you have in your own hand tool woodworking, your own chisels, saws, because they all come with different lengths. Some handsaw lengths and chisel lengths have been standardized, but some manufacturers don't follow any conventions, so they have longer ones or shorter ones. It depends on what you use. I'm going to be using this portable tool case when I travel and give woodworking demonstrations and teach woodworking techniques, hand tool oriented woodworking techniques. So I've assembled most of the tools that I'll be using. I'll have a couple of jigs to bring along too, but these are all the tools, the important tools that I use in my hand tool woodworking. So it's going to be an interesting build, and something I've wanted to build for almost 2 decades now. This is a book, one of Yeung Chan's, I think, his only books. So I actually have a signed copy here from that very same class in 2004 in Almont, Ontario, Canada, and it was something to Norman. I hope you like the idea of my book. Enjoy woodworking. Good luck with your tools. I appreciate coming to my class. So that's interesting. There's an image. Here's the image. It's an image of myself with Yeung Chan, standing next to Yeung Chan, along with that portable tool case. Now, what I did at the time is I took some rough dimensions of the exterior dimensions of the case, the depth, the two sides, the depth on both sides because they're actually different, the width and the length of it, but I had not taken some of the inner compartment dimensions of the dividers, but not everything. So I'm working by eye at the moment. I'm basing everything on a photograph or two and what I remember of the tool case. But the photograph is sufficient enough for me to work with, along with the dimensions I've just described. So it's going to be exciting for me. You'll see in the first part of this video that I already have everything laid out, and it's taken me almost a day or two to lay everything out to what I prefer in a layout. And it's also similarly based to what he had in his own portable tool case. I'll have some concerns about the weight, but I think he addressed it by making it structurally strong by using glues where you normally don't use glues. So I'm going to be implementing that criteria in the build. Along with that, it's mostly hand tools in there and layout tools. The second or third video we'll delve into the actual build itself after I've broken the wood down from a plank down to usable pieces, and I can work with the pieces, dimension them correctly, and create the exterior frame for the two sides of the portable tool case, and also start working on the dividers. So it's very critical that I get the dimensions right. I'm Norman Perillo from WoodSkills, and I'd like to talk about a few woodworking books I've written. My recent book is Quiet Woodworking in an Unquiet World. It talks about my movement to hand tools From high-tech to low-tech, a woodworker's journey, which chronicles my journey from my former high-tech career to my current furniture making career. Along with that, I offer courses through woodskills.com. The courses range from a basic woodworking course right through to furniture design and a comprehensive design and making course. All books are available in both print and digital format. So this is the portable tool case I've been working on for the last close to 3 weeks. Few hours a day here and there, and I've just completed it. I haven't applied any finish. So you notice the dovetailed corners, and this actually separates into two pieces. This is the upper part, the narrower part, and this is the wider part. The lower part, this houses my hand planes, and this is all chisels. The hand planes and Japanese saws and some other varied instruments. So it's quite heavy right now because it's fully loaded with tools. So this is black limba, and the interior is walnut, as I'll show you very soon. So it's assembled now, and then I separate them to set them up as portable tool cabinets, essentially. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like. So normally I'd have straps around, two straps, two heavy-duty either leather or luggage straps is what I'm looking at now, and with a handle, and I can carry this, I can transport it, and it's quite heavy though, but it houses all my tools, and they're all inclusive, but it also serves as a platform or as a tool case, a tool cabinet for me when I'm off-site and giving demonstrations or teaching woodworking techniques or teaching anything revolving around hand tool woodworking. So it's quite a bit of work and design and engineering because I had to really customize this. It's based on a Yeung Chan tool cabinet, and I studied with Yeung Chan here in Ottawa, an area at a furniture making school way back in 2004, 20 years ago actually. And I managed to take some photos and take some rough measurements at the time. I was so impressed with the box. I told myself I'd make one day. So this 20 years later, the day has come. So close to 3 weeks of work into this and redesigning and re-implementing and customizing it to my own tools. That's important too. So I had to work with different dimensions. This is a little larger. It's a little larger than his original one. Now I only know of 2 instances of these in the world, and I've done considerable research before building it because I wanted as much information as I could on dimensions, but I couldn't find hardly anything aside from my photos and some rough measurements and from some photos of the second person that made his. So I had to work with that. Now I know of no other instance, so this is probably the 3rd one in the world like this, and it's very, very involved to create. There's a lot of detail work and a lot of precision, but I'm impressed with the end result, and I can't wait to apply finish on the outside part. It's fairly large. It's large. You probably don't visualize it as well in the video, but it's 26 inches tall by 17 inches wide, and just large enough for me to contain all my tools that I need for hand tool woodworking, and not too large to transport. So it's normally a transporter on its side. I don't have the luggage straps yet, but it's going to have some luggage straps, either leather or some very heavy-duty material. I'll have 2, and I'll sort of build the handle into the strap area so I can transport it or use a small cart. And this will allow me to bring all my tools that I need off-site to give demonstrations or to teach woodworking. So very, very happy with it again. So it's very large, all-inclusive. So I've opened the case up, separated the top and the bottom. And you can see the overlaid panels that will serve as the platform or the stand. And you'll notice also these 2 strips. These are custom strips mortised into the ends. And what the strips do are keep the stand components down, because this is the top part is the part that I flip over and sits over the bottom part of the case. So everything would fall out unless I had these custom strips. So I mortised them in. You can see the small tenons I created to fit into some custom mortises. So this has tension in it, and it's designed to be concave, so it compresses the middle part too. And I'll just remove this one. So there's a little concavity here, and this reinforces or adds some extra tension in the middle. Very interesting to make these because they have to be at the right thickness to allow them to flex enough, yet maintain the strength, rigidity. So I think it's a little over 3/16 of an inch. These are the panels. There's a filler panel here to keep everything from moving around, and these are the panels that comprise the stand for the bottom part and part of this one. So it's just they're arranged so they fit together. So next I'll separate the components of the stand, assemble the stand, and show the stand how it fits within this this cabinet, the top and bottom cabinets, and then I'll set them up, and you can see the end result of how this looks at the end, and it's quite striking actually. It was interesting to create these slots and have everything lined up. There's quite a bit of engineering involved with how these fit together. I wasn't the person that designed the original setup, but I was very impressed with how they determined what's the best angle for it for the tilt on the cabinets. You'll see it's a best angle that maintains downward weight and yet keeps it from tipping over backwards, and how it interlocks together. So this is how it looks with the knockdown stands assembled. And again, these are customized. You can see how they fit into each of the upper and lower, the top and bottom part of the case. And this is so this would not fit here, and this is specifically for the upper part of the case. And it fits right in. And this is the lower part. So there's about 4 parts for each of these stands, as you've seen earlier when I had them overlaid over the compartments. So if you notice, I still have some marking tape here, but it's all dovetailed together. The dovetail really reinforced the corner joinery. It's almost, with the weight of the cabinets, the individual parts of the cabinet, it's almost critical to use a sort of a dovetail reinforced joinery. This is how the stands are assembled, and next I'll actually set them up on the stands, and you can get a better view of how it looks in its final form. So again, this is, I've now set it up with the stands, and this is how I would have it set up if I were giving a training or teaching some woodworking techniques in another environment or another shop setting. I'd set it up like this, and this has almost all the tools I need to be able to do handwork with hand tools, mainly hand planes, both Western and Oriental Japanese style hand planes. A whole series of Japanese saws, ryobas, tozukis of different lengths, different sizes with different tooth configurations, and a plane adjusting hammer. And this is all my chisels. These chisels are the chisels I use mostly in my work. There's quite a few more than I would normally use, but they have different sizes. So these are shorter ones. These are marking instruments and marking gauges and awls. And this is a small vintage level I've restored. Another small chisel, a little engineer square, and some spoke shapes that I've also restored. Vintage spoke shapes from the 1800s. So I'm very happy with how this has turned out. Now I've done one other thing with my design, is I've added drawers. The original one did not have drawers, and the second one I've seen does have at least 1 or 2 or 3 doors possibly, but I've added drawers. These compartments were originally open, and I've since added a divider and created these small custom fit drawers to be able to house all my smaller tools. So I think this keeps all the tools from rattling around and moving around in that large compartment. It's a good touch, and the same with this. I can put all some more marking instruments, pencils, small rollers, and that sort of thing in here. So this is sufficient for me to be able to do my handwork if I'm going off-site to train or educate or demonstrate woodworking. And I'm very happy with it. Again, this has a lip that fits into this. You've seen how it looks enclosed. And I haven't applied finish on the outside, and I don't think I'll apply finish on the inside. I'll just put a light coat of some finishing oil on the outside. Possibly, I'll have to give that some thought, because it does darken the wood a little. So it's fairly stable, and I'm very, very happy with it. And I've also scalloped the dividers to be able to access all the individual tools, all the chisels. So it's considerable precision involved in creating this. And everything is custom fit, and I had to work. I had no plans or anything, and all I had was some images from that course I took 20 years ago with the first person that designed this, Yeung Chan. He's a craftsman, artisan from San Francisco area, and he came up to the Ottawa area to teach a course, and he brought his original version along. So I took some photos at the time with some approximate rough measurements of the external case. So I'm working with photos, and this is a totally different layout from his. The drawers, he didn't have any drawers in his, and the second person that made one of these did have some drawers. Again, it's customized for his own tools. So I'm very, very happy with this, and I look forward to using it when I teach or give demonstrations off-site, and I might even have it set up here in my own workshop. It's so, I find it very beautiful to look at. So please subscribe to my YouTube woodworking channel, where I share more of my woodworking techniques, my woodworking philosophy, my thoughts on woodworking, and all the challenges I've experienced. And I introduce some of the new forms of woodworking I've discovered. And also visit woodskills.com, where I have a good selection of my books, both in print and digital format, on woodworking, and all my online courses, and I also offer some woodworking plans. I have maintained a regular blog on what I've got going on in my workshop and in woodworking in general. So enjoy.